Okay, so let's get started in VideoPad. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our files. We have a couple of files. Here's the background. And here we're going to load in also the bumpers, which is the credits of the video at the end. And the song. And then we're going to load up the song itself. And here, it's already automatically put the background. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Now we're going to save the project, give it a name. I always save it right away. And we're going to drag the audio down onto the audio tracks that's right there underneath the backdrop. And then we're going to just squish down the backdrop tracks, list the exact same length as the audio. Later on, we'll put fade effects. Let's just add some text. We're going to add the artist's name. And that's going to be appearing at the top all the time through the video clip. So let's type in the name of the song and the artist's name. So typing those in. You'll notice that the aspect ratio and the sequence preview is still 9:16 and 7:16:9. I'll change that in a minute. So here's the artist's name. I've typed it up. And you'll see, see that it's still squished. So let's change the aspect ratio to 16:9. Okay, and we're going to stretch out the artist's name so that it lasts the entire duration of the song. And we're going to I'm adding a little fade effects here, and unfortunately that didn't capture my screen capture, but I'm adding the fade effects so that I can see if I click anywhere in the song. Okay, there you go. So now the artist name is showing up. What do we do next? I'm actually making it a little bit smaller. Didn't want it to be quite so prominent up there. Okay, let's watch the thing from the beginning. Great, that looks totally fine. Okay, now we're gonna start. What are we gonna do next? I forget what I did next. Adding fade effects to the actual backdrop image. Gonna just add, sorry you can't see it, it's 1.5 seconds fading in, fading out. I don't know why that didn't capture with my video capture. Okay, now we're gonna add the text, and here's where we start adding in the actual captions. So what I always do is I always make one caption that's kind of, sorry, I'm losing my words. I always make one that the other ones are going to be based on. It's a template for the others. So this one, I really work hard getting the first caption exactly right, the first subtitle, and then I just copy to make 1,000 copies, however many I need for the whole song. So I work hard to get the first one right, and here I am playing with the colors, playing with the font size, and again those dialogues didn't capture, which is obnoxious. I apologize. Not sure exactly what I'm doing here. I don't know. It's capturing the mouse movements, but it's not actually showing the dialogue box that I'm working on, which is annoying. Zooming into double click, but you can't see me working on the actual text. Here I've pasted in the Hebrew text from somewhere else. So, and I like to do the Hebrew in a different color. I like to do the Hebrew in yellow and the English in white. It doesn't really matter, but here I am just typing in the captions, playing around with the subtitles. Again, this is the first one, so I like to get it looking exactly perfect, exactly the way that I want to. Because once the first one looks the way that I want it to look, and here I'm making it a little bit smaller, once the first one looks the way that I want it to look, then I'm just going to take it and go copy over here in this images bin of all the images. You can see text clip 1, and I'm just going to copy that once I have it looking exactly the way that I want it to look. Which will be hopefully very, very soon. Let's move this first one to where we want it to be. Oops. Accidentally dragged it down, so I just did a quick undo over there. Let's drag it to where we want the voice to actually start. Let's see if that's right. Clip. sorry, sometimes when there are memory issues, VideoPad doesn't actually play the preview if it's having trouble loading it, if it's a little bit overwhelmed. So you can see that's not exactly working for me, so I'm going on to do something else. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the bumpers. The bumpers is the credits at the beginning and end of every video. And I make these in Canva. It's very easy. It takes about 20 seconds for each one. The bumpers MP4, the video file, contains the beginning and the end bumpers. So here I am going to separate out the beginning. I'm just going to quick split the beginning and the end of the bumpers. So we're just looking here for where the end is. There's the end. So I'm just backing up the cursor until we get to the end bumper. Backing it up, here's where it ends. So now we're going to go one frame forward and split, just get the scissors to split the clip. And now I'm going to take that clip right to the end of the bumper track. So that's going to play right at the end of the song. Let's just preview that to see what that looks like. At the end of the song, and VideoPad is still giving me trouble, still not wanting to play. It takes a long time, especially when something is 4 minutes long like this. I don't have a ton of memory. It's partly just due to limitations of my laptop, so I don't get too worried about it. I just make sure that I'm saving frequently so that nothing too terrible. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's the end bumper, and I'm actually, here what I'm doing is I'm adjusting the transparency of the background video, and again, you can't see the dialogue to do that. So there's 80% makes them a little bit darker, so that you can read the captions a little bit better. Now I'm renaming the tracks. I like how VideoPad lets me rename the tracks, so that's the main video track. This is going to be the track of the artist's name. And then I can also minimize the tracks so that they don't get in the way of when I'm working on the captions, which is the biggest part of it. This is the bumpers track. And now I'm ready to start adding captions. So I'm minimizing the bumpers track and I'm ready to start doing the captions. So I'm going to put the first caption that I made, I'm going to put it after the captions track. And I'm going to rename that to be captions. Then here I want to get the timing of the first caption. So it's not quite right. There we go. And I'm going to fade in on the first caption just so it comes in a little more nicely. Okay. So I have the first caption. Let me just see what I'm doing now. Oh, I have realized that the artist name isn't the right color. It's a weird set of colors. It's looking kind of pink. I think it was red and white. So I'm just fixing up the colors on that very quickly. Okay, there we go. So now I have the first caption and I have the artist's name in the background. So now that the first caption is right, I'm just going to copy it and paste into that image here. And you'll notice VideoPad puts a green check mark on any images that are actually used in the video. So I'm going to bring down the next, let's bring down 4. They're all going to be the same, but I will update them. Now I actually made a mistake doing this. You'll see a little bit later on. I messed up and dragged the same one on twice, which it lets you do. So I messed up and I'm gonna need to fix it later. Right now these all look the same, but because they're different text clips, I can now change each one. I'm gonna go through and plug into each of these text clips the actual text. Okay, so there I'm getting the timing for the first text clip. It ends right about there. Then I can drag the next one over to it. I don't know what I'm doing there. Drag them all over. Okay. Now I'm going to start actually modifying the text. So I'm going to put the next line in, double click to open up the text dialog, which of course you can't see. But here I am modifying the text dialog. You can see it really small in there. Sorry, this is kind of obnoxious. But anyway, and here I'm actually playing around with the translation. So it takes me a couple of minutes to get exactly the right translation for each one. Okay. Alright, and this is the translation that I've decided on. Now we move on to the next caption. And I'm going to fast forward through these captions because they're not all that fascinating. But you'll see, I'm just going to show you I made a mistake and it's gonna mess up, and then you have to fix it. I'm going to have to redo the first caption that I did. So here, I realized that I messed up and I overwrote because I pasted the same caption twice, which was very obnoxious. I should not have done it. So I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to paste in a new one. There we go. Paste it into the place. And now I actually have to re-enter the caption that I already entered because I overwrote it. Which VideoPad lets you do surprisingly easily. But at least I remembered how I translated it before, so it was pretty quick this time. Okay, so here's where I'm gonna just manually drag each one to where the song, where the words change. Okay, then here, when I have the words repeating, I actually copy and paste. Here I've copied and pasted that very first word. So this is literally copying and pasting that very first text clip. And that can save you a lot of work when you're copying and pasting. When songs have a lot of repeated lyrics, you can copy and paste the text clips. So here I'm actually copying and pasting all the text clips, I believe. 1 second. Okay, so here we're at the end, and I'm just tweaking the timing of these last couple of clips. Here's the last couple of clips. Okay. Oh, and we're just, actually we do have one last repeat of the words. So let's stick that together. Put in the last couple of captions. Annotate and tweak. So I have a terrible mouse, and it's sometimes really hard to get these handles to come up on VideoPad, so you have to kind of keep zooming in to get the handles to appear. Okay, here we are. We're just, trying to get that out. So frustrating, trying to get the handles. Trying to get those handles to come up. And you can see that I have the captions over the bumpers. The second I'm going to slide them under the bumpers because obviously that's very obnoxious. So yes, over here we minimize the captions, we slide the bumpers up so they're over the captions. So those last few captions are going to get lost, but the words are kind of repeated. By the end of the song you're repeating the words anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. Sorry, it zoomed in too much. Need to zoom out again so we can see the whole song. And you can see now how it all fits together. Let's look at the last couple of seconds to make sure that it ends cleanly. And let's put a fade in. The bumpers need to fade in, so it's not quite so abrupt. Okay, and there we go. So now the song fades out. The end of the song looks perfect. Let's go to the beginning to take a look at the start. We're not going to fade in the bumper, but we are going to fade out the bumper 1.5 seconds. So here's what the beginning looks like with the bumper. Nice. And now the words are going to come up, fade in. And I'm just checking at this point to make sure the captions are good. And in fact, they're not. There's a problem with the captions that I'm going to have to go back and fix, which is, I just realized there's a word missing. So I'm going to actually go back and get it open it up. And I'm going to type in the missing word, both in Hebrew and in English. And now it's fixed. And because I repeated, because I used the same text clip over and over, it is changed in all the text clips. However, you'll notice here, when it comes up here, the first time that it comes up in the preview, it's not correct. Don't worry about that. VideoPad is sometimes a little bit laggy. It really is changed, and it's okay in the final video. So I'm not going to watch the whole thing. I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. Let's fast forward to the very end. Okay, and we're actually ready to start exporting the video, which I'll do in a second. It's always a good idea though to watch it all the way through to make sure that everything worked really smoothly, to make sure that your final video is going to look great. You'll notice, by the way, that I don't have my logo on here yet. The logo is going to, I put it on later using Microsoft Clipchamp, and if there's any last minute things, I also use Clipchamp for those. Now it's time to export the video. You can choose the dimensions, choose the file name. None of that is visible here because the little pop-ups, it didn't work. This took maybe 10 minutes to export on my back. Thanks for watching.